What if I told you the most dangerous weapon in Gotham City isn't a bomb, a gun, or a canister of fear gas? It is a simple piece of information, a secret so valuable that men have died trying to protect it. For 80 years, the Riddler has been obsessed with being the smartest man in the room. But there is one scenario that terrifies Batman more than anything else. What happens if the Riddler actually solves the ultimate puzzle? What happens if he tells the world that Bruce Wayne is Batman? To understand why this is a nightmare scenario, we first have to look at the man behind the question mark. Edward Nygma, the Riddler, is not just a prankster in a green suit. He is a narcissist. He needs to prove he is better than you. He needs to prove he is better than the Batman. For most villains, fighting Batman is about money or power. For the Joker, it's about comedy. But for the Riddler, it is a game of chess. And in chess, the ultimate victory is checkmate. In the comic book storyline, Batman Hush, something incredible happened. The Riddler was dying of cancer. He was desperate. He used a mystical pool of water called a Lazarus pit to save his life. The water healed his body, but it also expanded his mind. In a flash of brilliance, he connected the dots. He looked at the chin of Bruce Wayne and the chin of Batman, and he realized they were the same person. In the official story, Batman stops him from talking with a simple piece of logic. He asks the Riddler, "What is a riddle that everyone knows the answer to?" The answer is worthless. Batman convinced the Riddler that if he told the secret, the riddle would be spoiled. It would have no value. So the Riddler kept his mouth shut. But today, we are going to break the rules. We are going to explore the darker timeline. We are asking the question, what if the Riddler didn't care about the game? What if he just wanted to burn Gotham to the ground? Imagine it is a Tuesday evening in Gotham. The rain is falling, just like it always does. Suddenly, every screen in Times Square, every phone in the city, and every television channel is hacked. The green question mark appears. The Riddler doesn't just say the name. That would be too simple. He presents the evidence. He shows the blueprints of Wayne Manor. He tracks the purchase of military-grade rubber and graphite used for the Batsuit, all bought through shell companies owned by Bruce Wayne. He shows the satellite images of the Batmobile entering a hidden cave system under the Wayne estate. He ends his broadcast with one final, chilling sentence. The answer to the greatest riddle in history is the Prince of Gotham. In the first 10 minutes, the internet breaks. The news stations cannot handle the traffic. People in Gotham don't believe it at first. Bruce Wayne? The Playboy? The man who falls asleep during board meetings? It seems impossible. But then, the data starts to make sense. At this exact moment, Bruce Wayne is sitting in his study. Alfred is bringing him tea. Bruce's phone buzzes. Then it buzzes again. Then it doesn't stop. He looks at the screen and sees his own face plastered over every news network in the world. For the first time in his career, Batman cannot punch his way out of the problem. You cannot fight the internet. The secret is out. The immediate physical danger does not come from the police. It comes from the villains. You have to understand that half of the criminals in Blackgate Prison were put there by Batman. The other half have a grudge against Bruce Wayne's company. Now, they know those two targets are the same man. Within an hour of the broadcast, the gates of Wayne Manor are not just surrounded by reporters, they are surrounded by enemies. In stories like Kingdom Come or Murder Machine, we have seen what happens when the villains learn where Batman sleeps. They don't wait for an invitation. Two-Face, seeking twisted justice, would likely be the first to arrive. He would see Bruce's deception as the ultimate betrayal of their old friendship. He wouldn't come alone. He would bring an army of hired guns. Bruce Wayne would have to barricade himself inside his ancestral home. The windows would shatter. Molotov cocktails would fly into the library. The Batcave, once a sanctuary, would become a trap. Alfred Pennyworth, the loyal butler, would be in grave danger. In the comics, whenever Batman's identity is compromised, Alfred is often the first casualty. He is the soft target. Bruce would be forced to suit up, not to patrol the city, but to fight a war in his own living room. But this time, he isn't fighting from the shadows. He is fighting on live television. Helicopters are circling overhead, filming Batman fighting criminals on the lawn of Wayne Manor. The myth of the creature of the night vanishes. Now, He is just a wealthy man in a high-tech suit fighting for his life. While the bullets are flying at the manor, a different kind of war is happening in the boardrooms of Gotham. Batman is expensive. The Batmobile, the gadgets, the Batwing, they cost billions of dollars. Bruce Wayne has been funneling money from Wayne Enterprises to fund his war on crime. The moment the Riddler reveals the truth, this becomes the biggest case of embezzlement and fraud in history. The stock price of Wayne Enterprises would crash to zero in minutes. Investors would panic. The board of directors would hold an emergency meeting to fire Bruce Wayne. But it gets worse. Think about the legal liability. Every time Batman broke a window, crashed a car, or put a criminal in the hospital, he was breaking the law. If Batman is an anonymous vigilante, you can't sue him. But if Batman is Bruce Wayne, you can sue him for everything he has. Lawyers would descend on Gotham like vultures. The police would be forced to issue an arrest warrant, not for Batman, but for Bruce. Commissioner Gordon, Batman's oldest ally, would be placed in an impossible position. He is a man of the law. He cannot ignore that his friend has been operating outside the law for years. The police would surround Wayne Manor, not to help Batman, but to arrest him. Bruce Wayne's assets would be frozen. The power to the Batcave would be cut. The funding for his gadgets would vanish. The Riddler hasn't just unmasked Batman. He has bankrupted him. He has taken away the resources that make Batman effective. Now, here is the most interesting twist. You might think the Joker would be happy. You might think he would be laughing. You would be wrong. The Joker hates it when people figure out who Batman is. In the comic history, specifically during the Death of the Family storyline, it is implied that the Joker could have looked under the mask at any time. He doesn't want to. To the Joker, Bruce Wayne is the mask. Batman is the real face. If the Riddler reveals the secret, he ruins the joke. He ruins the romance of their battle. The Joker doesn't want to fight a billionaire with legal problems. He wants to fight the Bat God. If the Riddler clicked send on that broadcast, he would not be celebrating for long. The Joker would likely hunt the Riddler down. In the Joker's twisted mind, the Riddler has broken the rules of the game. He has made Batman boring. We might see a war between the villains. The Joker, protecting the sanctity of his enemy, versus the Riddler, who just wants to prove he is smart. This chaos would spill into the streets, adding to the fire that is already consuming Gotham. So Bruce Wayne is bankrupt. His home is destroyed. The police are hunting him. His secret is gone. What is left? This is the part the Riddler didn't calculate. This is where his plan backfires. Bruce Wayne acts as a tether for Batman. Being Bruce reminds him of his humanity. It reminds him of his parents. It forces him to act normal, to go to parties, to sleep, to interact with society. If you take away Bruce Wayne, you are not destroying Batman. You are setting him free. Without the need to protect his identity, Batman no longer has to hold back. He doesn't need to return to the manor before sunrise. He doesn't need to pretend to be a playboy. He can become Batman 24 hours a day. In the Arkham Knight video game, when Batman's identity is revealed, he initiates something called the Nightfall Protocol. He destroys his home and fakes his death. He kills the identity of Bruce Wayne so that Batman can become a pure symbol, something scarier than a man. If the Riddler reveals the truth, we would see a darker, more brutal Batman. A Batman who has nothing to lose. He would operate from the shadows of the sewers, using stolen equipment, fighting with a rage we have never seen before. The Riddler wanted to humiliate Bruce Wayne. Instead, he created a monster. The relationship between Batman and his enemies is a delicate ecosystem. It relies on secrets. It relies on the mask. The Riddler is one of the few people smart enough to break that balance. He has the pieces, he has the intellect, but deep down, even he knows that solving the riddle is the end of the fun. If he ever decided to cross that line, it wouldn't result in a victory. It would result in the destruction of Gotham's economy, the death of the Bruce Wayne persona, and the birth of a Batman who no longer cares about the rules. Perhaps that is why, in the year 2025, the secret remains safe. Not because the Riddler can't solve it, but because he is smart enough to know that some questions are better left unanswered. What do you think? Would Batman survive if the world knew his name? Or would it be the end of the Dark Knight? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of Gotham.